It's our parents' anniversary, so we're surprising them with breakfast in bed. They're impossible to buy for. We think. We've never really tried. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
No! No!
I'm sorry.
Nothing's happening!
Oh my God.
Yeah, our kids walked in on us. We were, as they say, having sex.
That's not a euphemism, Phil. That's exactly what we were doing. Having sex. In front of our children.
Well, they weren't there when we started.
No.
In fact, you weren't even there when we started.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's okay. Maybe they didn't see anything.
Sweetie, they screamed, they dropped a tray of dishes, and then they ran out of here like they were on fire.
You were on fire, lady.
Really? You're still going?
Well, forgive me for thinking your zesty performance deserves some praise.
Phil, our children are downstairs right now, and they're probably traumatized.
Oh, come on. I'm sure it's not that bad.
I can still see it. I can't believe that just happened.
What were they doing?
Nothing.
Whatever it was, it looked like Dad was winning.
Okay, we need a game plan. We need to rehearse exactly what we're going to say, because that is the only way I'm going to hold it together when my babies are looking at me with judgment and disgust.
First of all, that's how they always look at us.
Oh, Phil.
Secondly, this isn't as traumatic as you think.
Honey, I walked in with my parents having sex once. It was, awful. I can't even get the image out of my mind.
Claire, we're not your parents. We're in much better shape.
Okay, you want to know the worst thing? They didn't even talk about it. They just let it hang there. I'm not going to do that to our kids. Phil, this is a defining moment for us as parents. How we handle this could shape how they feel about sex and intimacy for the rest of their lives.
Honey, this is only a big deal if we
God.
make it a big deal. We set the tone here. So let's just play it cool. Act like it was a big funny mix-up. Crack a few jokes, lighten the mood.
Jokes.
Yeah.
What kind of jokes?
Well, I'm just spitballing here, but what if I was all knock knock and they were like, who's there? And I was all, someone who doesn't want to see their parents doing it. That's why we knocked. Again, this is very rough.
Why are they still up there?
Yeah. How long does sex take?
Oh my God. Stop talking.
I'm gonna ask right now. Put in the comment section, have you been caught? Or have you caught your parents? On my end, I never caught my mom, okay? I'm a only child, raised by an only child, single mom. Never caught her, thankfully. But there was a moment, okay, full transparency. Both our kids, and again, my youngest special needs. The one thing that he always loves is spending time with all of us. So my wife and I were in the room, doing what we were doing. And our youngest just likes to go into our room just to be together. And even though we let our oldest son know to watch him while mom and I were quote unquote talking, hey, one of these times, youngest slipped away. And even we did lock the door, okay? But I guess, I'm pretty sure my wife closed it. Probably gonna get in trouble because I did, but hey, keeping my hands clean. But she closed it, but I guess it wasn't enough to where you know what I'm gonna say next, where it clicks, that you know it's locked for sure. He gets to the door, and it opens. Now, thankfully, both of us were able to just get under the covers, so nothing like skin was seen. But I think my oldest could put 2 and 2 together. And my wife and I were like, well, that sucked. But hey, we were almost done, so move forward. And then we'll take care of the aftermath once we finish, all right? So that kind of reminds me of the joke. I think it was the Kings of Comedy. And if Jay saw this, maybe he can help me into who it was. I want to say it was Bernie Mac. But I know he had mentioned that I think they walked in on his uncle. And the comedian, which I'm pretty sure is Bernie Mac, but Jay could help out, hopefully. He said once the kid went in there, the uncle wasn't stopping. His motion was like, all right now. Like, uncle just kept going, so I guess it was a learning moment. Look, this can happen, somebody's. When you got kids and you try to have an intimate moment without a babysitter, without anybody watching them, even with the locked door, It could happen. All right? I'm sure knowing my co-host, he's shaking his head like it should never happen. Lock that door, make it secure. All right, Jay, we're not all perfect like you. But it happened with us. So the only thing you could do at that point, yes, you should talk about it. It was already uncomfortable bursting in. It's not going to get any worse with discomfort. Just figure it out. Yes, both you and your partner talk about it. See what you're going to say, all right? I do like Phil, though. I've said before in the short and whatever video, I am the Phil of the marriage, all right? So I would continue to compliment my wife even after that happened. Although I don't know if I would have came up with the word zest, but I like it nonetheless. And I would also have picked up all the food from the floor and made a meal out of it. Because why? Because that's the intention that the kids had, right? They wanted breakfast in bed. I don't let food go to waste, okay? I grew up poor. I know for a lot of you, you have like a 1, 3, 5 second rule for the floor. There was no seconds for us, okay? We just knew that first bite was gonna be a little crunchy. That's all. But nonetheless, yes, take it head on if it happens, all right? Try to have some decorum if they do walk in, and cover yourself, because if it's happened to you, that you caught your parents, you kind of have an idea. But if you haven't, just try to imagine a moment that will stay in their memory for as long as they live. And it's not a good moment, all right? It happens. Take care of it. Do the best you can as parents. There's so many books on parenting. There's no perfect situation. Just take it head on. It happened. Oh well. Just try not to let it happen again, and make sure that door is locked. Both of you check it, all right? In fact, maybe get another lock, a chain lock, something else, just to make sure. By the way, some buddies, I'm gonna put it out there. Julie Bowen, man, I think this is, for me, her prime. So as soon as she got caught, I'm like, damn, Phil, he's a lucky dog. I know some of you, or whatever the percentage is, are all about Gloria. Okay, I get that. But for me, Julie Bowen, that was where I was going on the show, okay? And especially, hey, I'm Phil of my marriage, so kind of makes sense, right? I was looking, I was staring, and I was thankful that it took her a while to put those pants on. Just saying, somebody's.
Mafuchi know me so well. I was shaking my head because you need to lock the door. I don't care. Okay? Double, triple check and make sure the door is locked. Twist the lock, push the door, hear the click, put your hand on the knob, make sure it doesn't open. Alright? It's not that difficult. Okay? Takes a few seconds. But this is probably my favorite scene of Modern Family. We already showed one on the channel for anniversary with Phil being surprised with the magic that his wife learned. And another one has nothing to do with marriage, but it's just another funny scene. But yeah, this is probably my top favorite scene of Modern Family. But yeah, there's no excuse to not lock the door unless you want to get caught, then explain it to your kid or kids of what's going on if they don't know what's going on. Like the youngest, he was like, whatever was going on, it was like dad was winning. That was hilarious. And then Bob Prady said, how long did sex take? It can take 5 seconds, take 20 minutes, it can take 45 minutes, depending on the guy, right? So, just hilarious. Just hilarious. And did your wife want you telling this story to begin with? I'm sure she probably don't want this story being told, but that's neither here or there. That's for her to chew you out later on when she sees this. But yeah, I have no words. I have no words.